Let me just adjust myself right here. Today we're going to go right into it. Today we're talking about virtual assistants, and it doesn't matter how many videos I put out. It just seems that there's more and more questions that come up with virtual assistants. And the reason for that is there's just so many different ways to take VAs because the sky is the limit. So a virtual assistant is really somebody that becomes part of your team. So you can add any member of the team tasked with any certain task or anything that you need help with. So that's why it's so vast. And again, as a quick reminder, what virtual assistants are for those of you that are new to that particular type of work, it's somebody else in your business that helps you. It's effectively that. Now, the only difference is that they are remote, that they are not down. They're not down the hallway in your office or anything like that. It's just somebody that you work with remotely that's not in front of you. That's really what a virtual assistant is. So what we're looking at today are the 5 tasks, which, as I was looking through the notes, it actually became the 5 categories, but you're gonna get actually more than 20 tasks that you can deploy your virtual assistants with. But I wanted to provide them in categories because there's so many different ways to take it. So I wanted to provide as much value to you today, where it just seems that there are some videos out there that share information about virtual assistants, but it just seems that they are pie in the sky type of videos where they'll say those are a little bit silly, where 100 tasks your virtual assistant can do, and they're just so, how can I put this lightly? They're just, they're very pie in the sky to where they're almost claiming that your VA can cure cancer. They're that silly, that just don't provide much value to you. So today we're looking at real estate oriented tasks. American versus non-American VAs. Is language a barrier? Most of the, that's a great question. Most of the VAs that you're gonna have access to, regardless of where you go, to get my take on where to get your VAs, just go to JaimeResendiz.com/VA, and it'll route you right to the one that I use to get all of my VAs from. So again, Jaime Resendiz, and it's the name of the channel. So just put JaimeResendiz.com/VAs. I'm sorry, /VA, so VA. And as far as American versus non-American, really English is not going to be a barrier, regardless if you go outside of the United States, whether that's India, that's the Philippines, or that's South America. Most of the VAs that you're going to have access to have a proficient understanding of the English language. They have entire industries outside of the United States geared towards virtual assistant work. Buzz strong accents are a turnoff. Well, it just depends on who you're hiring, right? So there's some people that have that have accents here in the United States. So you have you have the Southern accent, which I tend to lean towards. You have the Northern accent, but yeah, it just depends on who you hire. Some have captured the language and even have dialect coaches that give them more of the American accent. So it is what you make of it. It's no secret that outside of the United States, the cost for them is less. So just give you that perspective. So that's a very good question that comes up. Hey, Shantu, I didn't capture that before I came through. But when it comes to virtual assistants, we're looking for the real estate space. That's what we're really honing in on. And I want to provide as much value to you as possible. So I broke it down into 5 categories that are going to either save you time or going to save you or going to make you money. But really, it all comes down to the first principle, especially if this is your first VA. So the one principle that I strongly subscribe to is your first VA needs to either make you money directly or help you make you money indirectly. So either it's going to make you money directly by getting you clients, by bringing in people through the door through some of the tasks that you assign them, or they're going to make you money indirectly by saving you time, meaning that they're going to be the ones that save the busy work or save you from the busy work to where you can actually go out and prospect and bring in the business. From which country should I hire a VA? I get less cost. Well, as far as the lowest cost, you're generally going to find it in India. The second one, from my experience, has been over in the Philippines, but really it's not by much. So you can depending on the task that you're requiring, whether that's editing, whether that's researching, whether that's simple data entry, the cost is going to vary, and it's going to depend on the task. So personally, I get pretty much all of my VAs from, well, I shouldn't say that because I have VAs from all over, but the majority of my VAs we're talking about from the Philippines. I have some in the United States, I have some in South America, and I have some through Eastern Europe as well. But again, it goes back to task specific. So going into those tasks, without delaying any further, the number one task or the number one category that you need your VAs to help you with is, I'll wait for the bus to go by. The number one task and category is prospecting. And this goes back to the very number one critical element that I have for all virtual assistants, especially your first one, is helping you make money either directly or indirectly. And prospecting is direct. So prospecting is reaching out to clients. So in real estate, I'll give you one clear strategy so you don't have to guess at how this is done. When you get a virtual assistant, you need to load them up with tasks that they can deploy. One of the first tasks that you can deploy or have them deploy is LinkedIn marketing, because there's a huge opportunity right there. So how you set everything up is instructing your VA to reach out to log into your account, to your LinkedIn account, and befriend people that are in category in employments that generally have the disposable income to purchase a home. So again, we're talking about real estate VAs. So this can be doctors, this could be dentists, this could be attorneys, it could be really anybody that you deem as generally gonna have disposable income to purchase a home. So first befriend all of these individuals and send a personal invite on why you're wanting to connect, just very discreet, expanding your network. Once they accept, then the next message is going to be a little bit more direct, where you are making yourself the local authority in the real estate space and happy to help them in any way possible. And if they're happy to get on a 15-minute discovery call on how you can help them save money on property taxes, you might want to write that down, is it something that you can absolutely get some responses with. And it's very simple. All they're doing then at that point is getting on your Calendly link. So I just gave you the entire strategy for LinkedIn, where you're gonna have get your VA to befriend the people with the employment that generally has disposable income to purchase a home, or I shouldn't say disposable, but that has the income to purchase a home generally, and then do direct outreach. So that is prospecting. That is a strategy to continue reaching out to people on a one-on-one basis and bringing in business. Now, you can have VAs do email prospecting for you, where they're the ones that are sending out emails in a very limited fashion every single day, because you don't want your domain to get blacklisted. So if you're thinking, I'm gonna get a list of all the dentists out in the world and I'm gonna send everything at once, you're gonna find your email worthless at that point, because it's going to automatically be blacklisted and you're not going to be able to send out email and it end up in the appropriate inbox as opposed to a spam folder. So a VA can help you send messages 5 at a time per day, and do that habitually. That becomes part of their daily tasks. So that's how you start prospecting. When it comes to prospecting even more directly, you can have them run ads. You can have them run Facebook ads, Instagram ads, YouTube ads, Google ads, and you may be thinking, well, Jaime, I don't even do that for my business right now. Well, that's okay. Either you learn how to do Facebook ads as an example and then teach your VA, or you hire a VA that already has this knowledge and have them run your ads, or third, then you are looking at getting a course from, I have a course and you're free to check it out down below. You can get a course from somebody that you trust that teaches how to run these. And instead of you going through the actual course itself, then somebody else is going to, the VA is actually going to take the course and run with it. So I saw a comment talk about Google Ads. That's not going to be a topic for our time today, but when it comes to Google Ads, then I can certainly put that on the, motorcycles going by. I can certainly put that on the topic for a later date. So Google Ads is something that virtual assistants can absolutely deploy for you. So again, either you learn how to do them yourself and teach somebody, or you hire somebody that already knows how to do Google Ads, or you purchase a course from somebody that you trust, so the virtual assistant can go through the course and you become their test subject. So however you want to do it, all of them have pros and cons, but it's a great way to get started. And then also another way to prospect. Again, I'm giving you a lot of different, what all services I can provide as a real estate agent. That's up to you. I don't know what country you're in, what state you're in, what city you're in. It's sky's the limit, my friend. When it comes to prospecting, you can have your VAs do cold calling. So your VAs can absolutely cold call for you, which as far as effectiveness, there's some VAs that are more effective than others, just like anything. It's going to be rare that a cold caller that's calling on your behalf is more effective than you. It's just, I just have not seen that. I just have not seen that. But at the same time, they're going to help you gain your time back and are also going to help you make you money. Yes, they may be less effective than you are, but that's something that you can absolutely implement in your business. Can a VA use Agently? If you pay for it, absolutely. And Agently will make an appearance here in a little bit. But that's a great question. Yes, absolutely. All right, so that's number one. We went a little bit long on that one, but I think this was actually the one that we missed the most, because this is something that either, again, we're trying to get somebody else on the team. We're trying to get somebody else that will help us make money, because at the end of the day, if you can't pay for the VA, then the VA is out of a job. So the VA is in the trenches with you, and together you're going to work your hardest to actually make some money, right? Number two is nurturing, which is follow up. So nurturing and follow up with your database, with your leads, with your clients, people that you already have a hold of. Now, this can be email marketing, this could be text marketing, this could be following up on the phones, doing courtesy calls. Essentially, it's nurturing that you yourself should be doing, and if you're not doing, then let's get somebody else on the team that's going to save you money and save you time, and also going to make you money. And that's what nurturing does. So these are very tangible ways for your virtual assistant can get involved in your business. What you're going to find is you may be thinking of all these different ideas that you want to deploy, but then when it comes pen to paper time, you're struggling to keep up with your virtual assistant because they're just so effective. Now, I'm generalizing, but if you can hire your VAs in the same way that I do, which I don't have time to get into that in this video. I have another video about 2 weeks ago where I teach you how I hire my virtual assistants, so you're going to want to check that out. So that's something that I consider, that's something that you should probably consider watching as well. So nurturing, that's the second thing. That's the second thing that you want to involve your virtual assistants as quickly as possible, because they're going to make you money. Quick reminder, if you wouldn't mind hitting that like button, it's going to send out the notifications. It's going to really help out, get the message out to everybody that's subscribed to the channel, and also send out that notification. It's going to help me out a ton. If you don't mind just smashing that like button for me, and it would really, really make the difference. All right, so we talked about prospecting, we talked about nurturing. So those are two main categories that your virtual assistants can help you with. Now let's talk about number three, which is managing agreements. This is more on the back end. This is the admin type work. So managing agreements. You all write offers. So you all write offers for leases. You all write offers for buying, for selling, all that fun stuff. So you have these agreements. And these agreements, for the most part, 99% of them at this point are all digital based. So you either have DocuSign, you have SkySoap, you have Dotloop, you have all these different mechanisms out there that send out digital signatures. So you construct the offer that you're going to make, and then you send it off for execution. Your virtual assistant should be helping you with that. They shouldn't necessarily be writing in the blanks, because that is still your responsibility. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but make sure that you check with your your rules and regulations on what they are and are not allowed to do, but generally having them be the ones that send out the agreements after everything is ready to go from your end. You wrote the contract and you wrote the offer. Well, now they can be tasked with sending out the emails, to sending out the agreements to the people for digital signature. So this involves sending them out on DocuSign and sending reminders, doing follow-up emails, doing follow-up calls to make sure that the offers are executed on time. So this is that whole managing of the agreements that's going to save you a lot of time. Again, you can't get by not actually writing the offer, because that's what you are there for. You're the real estate agent. That's you. Doesn't your partner Joseph place VAs? Do you use his? Yeah, absolutely. Joseph places VAs. That's somebody that you can absolutely reach out to. He's fantastic at that. From the from managing agreements, that's something that you can absolutely do with your VAs. And a lot of you are doing, let's just say, leases require a lot more paperwork, a lot more paperwork. So having a VA involved in collecting the paperwork and giving them a checklist of, hey, I need proof of income, or I need a proof of employment, I need the past 2 months worth of income, all this other stuff that you might need in your particular area for rentals. That's something you can absolutely do. All right, so that's number 3. So again, prospecting, number 1. Number 2 is nurturing, and then number 3 is managing agreements. Now, number 4, this is really where you're going to start gaining your time back exponentially if, and I mean if, you are forward thinking in your business and are actively growing your business. As a quick reminder, if you wouldn't mind smashing that like button, it's going to help me out tremendously. It's going to send out notifications that we are live. Editing or design work. That's number 4, editing or design work. And the reason I said this can save you time is because you're real estate agents. You may not be the most professional editor out there. The only professional editor that I know is Trevor Jones, because he was a former Hollywood editor, and he happens to be a real estate agent as well, and he's fantastic at both. That's the only professional editor that I know. So I'm sure there's more, but just give you a quick heads up on that. Most of us are not professional editors. And also, most of us are not professional designers. So let's get some people that are professionals in the respective disciplines. So that's editing. Regarding VA and YouTube, have you had any success in VA writing YouTube scripts and making suggestions for YouTube video topics? I don't do, that's a great question, Warren. Sorry, I don't have access to the chats after they're gone, so I'm trying to remember the question. So instead of waiting for the final point, I'll go ahead and address it here. As far as writing the scripts, yes, but indirectly. And what I mean by that is I have a full-time article writer, blogger, whatever you want to call them, content writer that does my blog. And she is fantastic at it. There are times where I will use what we wrote or what she wrote that I outline. So I outline what I want in the blog itself, and then she goes and creates it and brings it to life. There are times where I use that as a script by proxy. I could literally read off the entire thing if I wanted to. That's just not my nature of videos. I do not use a teleprompter. I just go off bullet points. That's kind of what I'm doing right here. So I have my notes down here, and I'm speaking to you into the camera at the moment. So back to the general question. Yes, you can absolutely do that. So if I was going to deploy that strategy, I would actually hire a content writer. I wouldn't necessarily hire a video editor to do that type of work, getting the scripts together, because they wouldn't be effective at that. So I need somebody that can capture the essence of what I want to communicate and also be proficient in English to where it makes sense. It's rare that an airplane flies over. Sorry, sorry. At least where I'm at, so I'm in Mexico, and I've been doing live streams here for the past 4 or 5 days. I'll be here for about 5 more days, so I guess get used to that. Sorry about that. Now, as far as, my gosh, I tried my best to remember the second question. Can I put it up? Was YouTube suggesting video topics. There are a lot of YouTubers out there that are helping freelancers freelancing. So these YouTubers have massive channels that are doing some freelancing and will do something about a little what you call consulting, if you will. That's a little bit harder to get a hold of because generally that YouTuber is proficient at their line of work. So whether they're in animation, whether they're in a different industry, them having a good pulse on what would work for real estate is going to be challenging. And those, not gonna say all, but a good amount of the people that have had success from YouTube in the real estate lens, they're a little bit more reserved on giving out their advice freely. The only ones that I can think of that actually do that are actually my close friends. You have Christina Smallhorn, she's got over 130,000 subscribers. Javier Vidania, close friend and a business partner. He's got over 110,000 subscribers. Kyle Seagraves, he's about to hit 100,000 subscribers. So I know I can go to them for the well of information. So they will freely give me that type of information, but it's not something that's generally available to the entire. It's not effective for everybody. So it's not a strategy that I feel comfortable sharing and reaching out to these people and getting that type of feedback. That did not answer your question. Maybe that answered your question. I don't know, Warren. But for scripting, yes, that's something that's effective. The as far as topics, I see it as challenging. I personally haven't seen that be deployed. I know that there's some what you call gurus out there, or what some people are going to call fake gurus out there that will give you topic suggestions, but they're charging you $1,000 to do so, which is a ripoff and a waste of time. So before I actually give their name out, I'll just move on. So editing or design work, again, the main thing here is getting somebody that's a professional in the space, whether that's editing or whether that is image design, so you can have blog posts, so you can have social media posts, so you can have anything that you want to post online that you just don't want it just in written form, you want a visual or you want a video around. That's something that you can involve a VA with on the spot. Now, there was a mention of Agently a couple of minutes ago, so I'll bring that up here. Agently can do one of the two, which is providing professional images that actually get you business. So this is why we designed it with that state in mind. So the post that you see on Agently, so think of Agent LY, and I'll link it down below. That's full disclosure. That is a company that I'm part owner in. So just give you a quick heads up on that. But Agently is something we designed with that intent in mind to cut out the editor altogether, to where we bring all the personalized social media templates that work. So we have over 500 templates that you can choose from. And then also we're developing a video component to where you're going to be able to make video instantly through Agently as well. And again, it's all designed for the business generating activities. So we have no interest in just making fluff and puff that you see out there, these social media posts that just don't have any movement in them. We have a very strategic way of going to market. We have a strategic way of bringing in business for our agents, and that's it's very affordable. So you're gonna want to check that out. I'll link it down below if you're interested in Agently. All of the agents that are part of my real estate group already get that for free. So Warren, you're part of my group, so you of course have that for free. So just give you a heads up on that. Now, as far as the fifth thing, so one quick recap though, let's go with prospecting was number one, nurturing's number two, managing agreements number three, editing and or design work, that's number four. These are all things that you can outsource to your VA. Number five is research. So that's kind of going back from the question that you had, Warren. Oh, is that a clapping? Oh, awesome. I hadn't seen that emoji, clapping emoji. So the fifth one is research. Research is the most difficult one to pull off. I'll go ahead and say that. However, it is very rewarding when you do. That is something that you want to. Research is the hardest one to pull off, but it will save you so much time. So when it comes to when it comes to doing the why am I getting all of these messages all of a sudden? It's hard. It's the hardest one to pull off, but it's going to save you so much time. So whenever you are, let's just say you're thinking about deploying any type of strategy, you want to research your competition in the area. Well, you can reach out to your VA and ask them to name the top individuals in your space. And when you get the top individuals in your space, now you're able to make decisions off of that research. So your VA can go out there and find the top realtors in the area, give you their hyperlinks, get everything that's working and not working for those. And now you just get a spreadsheet of all the top competitors in your area, and then you just research and try to data mine what is making this agent so effective. What are they doing that I'm not doing? So there, you save yourself all of this time trying to research thousands of agents or going through hours and hours of research of trying to find these top producers. And then you saved all that time, but all you have to do now is focus on the results. On once you have a list of, let's just say, the top 25 producers that your VA can found, now you can absolutely make decisions based off of that information that's provided. And then as far as basic research, it's just providing you analytics. You can have a list of, hey, I need these analytics to meet every single first of the month, how many impressions I got with my ads, how many clients I reached through my CRM, how many new leads I got from my through my campaigns, give you all the important metrics in your business, and then you can analyze the results. So that's very basic research. That's just data gathering, data analytics. So it's going to help you from that perspective. There's a big truck back there. Alrighty, folks. So again, these are 5 tasks for real estate agents. It really went a little bit longer than I expected, but it really helps out being thorough, because this is really more 5 categories. I gave you over 20 different tasks, individual tasks that the agent that you can use for your virtual assistant. So again, these are real estate specific virtual assistant tasks. Number 1 is prospecting. Number 2 is nurturing. Number 3 is managing agreements. Number 4 is editing/design work. And number 5, doing some research. If I can be of any help here or in the future, please feel free to let me know. Comment down below what you're using your VAs for. And also, don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.